Bebe.
Pretty.
It's like that.
Welcome to podcast 4. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
So the first thing is people want to know about your dud pile.
Oh. Yeah.
They
Where
want to
should we
know, did you think that they were duds? Will we always have a dud pile? Did you return them already?
Have not returned them, so I will put it this way. I can see why you put them in a dud pile. I received many, many lovely gifts.
I thought you were going to say all the gifts you received were duds.
No.
The dud pile should have been larger.
No, there was only 2 duds, and they were articles of clothing.
Mm-hmm.
A pair of pants and a pair of shorts. Both black, which I love, so nothing dud about that. But you were concerned about the material. The material was a little funky. The pants felt like swimming trunk material.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, so a little funky. Not sure
You can swim in pants, I guess.
you can. Winter swim pants, maybe. You could try that. And then the shorts had a bit of a, let's call it, unconventional cut.
They were like scalloped.
And then they were scalloped, which there's probably an occasion for that. So one day it'll make sense.
Yes, and I replaced these duds with actual articles of clothing that suited you much better.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
did.
not like I just said, oh, well, that's all you get.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have put them in the dud pile yourself?
Hard
Or
to
would,
know.
would you have just passed them and said, oh?
This is too theoretical. You'll have to run some experiments next year.
It sounds good, bebe.
We could do a video where you plan some duds, but don't tell me they're duds and see how I react.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a little bit
You're very
devilish,
polite,
but
though. I think that you would
I'm
find...
even polite now in talking about an already acknowledged dud pile.
Yes.
Yeah.
You always find the silver lining and a good use for it, even if it's not your taste or something like that.
I didn't have a dud pile for you, but have you made your own dud pile?
No duds for me.
Okay.
I loved everything that you got me. It was wonderful. They're probably going to ask us to talk about our Christmas gifts. Do you want to talk about any of yours?
Can I show them one of my favorites?
Yes.
Okay, stand by.
But you have to describe it too, because this is a podcast.
Yeah. Well, this one I'm going to demonstrate first.
Okay. Oh, I forgot about this already. Oh, this would be nice. This is actually great for the podcast. Little ASMR action.
So Rose gave me the ocean for Christmas. I don't know if this will come across in the mics, but so these super cool musical instruments, they look like tambourines, but they're covered in plastic, and there's these small
Beads.
on the inside. And as you roll them, it sounds like the ocean and waves crashing.
They're really cool.
Really cool. And so being a musician, I was totally enamored with this gift, and I love the ocean, and I can't wait to overdub some ocean sound effects on my music productions.
This was a really cool gift. I knew I wanted to give Jonathan something that dealt with music, but I do not have enough experience or knowledge of guitars to buy him something meaningful in that realm. I've bought you a guitar, but there would just be no way for me to do that properly, even know what strings and things like that. And I've also bought Jonathan a guitar pedal once, and it just turned out that he already had the same one. So it just felt safer for me. I knew I wanted to get you something musical that was outside of the typical instrument. If I had gotten you a stringed instrument, you'd probably already have experienced it, and it wouldn't be meaningful, right? So I knew I wanted to get something different, but also that represented something that we both love and that Jonathan likes to include in his music already, and one of my favorite songs that he's made. So that's how I ended up with those.
Yeah, it was. I think you nailed it.
I can't wait to hear what it sounds like, because I bet it has an ASMR aspect to it, which I love. And I can't wait to just hear what it sounds like through the mics.
Me too.
And then my favorite gift I'm wearing Your grandmom asked if it was engagement ring, but not an engagement ring, but something that I have wanted for a while that I mentioned kind of in passing, I would say, but we had been looking for together every time we traveled. And it's just absolutely gorgeous and perfect. And I just loved my new ring. I didn't say what it was. But all the gifts that you got me were meaningful and beautiful and fun. We got a few mutual gifts from Santa Claus,
We did.
some ornaments.
Picnic blanket.
There were a lot of gifts exchanged.
There was.
We also got our first podcast gift. So on the way from one home to the other, our friend Kelly, who we mentioned on the last podcast, I think we've actually mentioned her just like the biggie on every podcast. But our friend Kelly, who's probably our biggest fan at this point, gave us a question book, which we can't wait to dive into. We're not going to do that this time because we had something else planned, but we will eventually use that on the podcast and we'll shout Kelly out again. I was also thinking not only the gift aspect of the end of 2023, now that we're in 2024, what are some of our goals that we accomplished in 2023? Kind of sprung this on Jonathan.
Yeah.
I have one in particular that I was sort of always in the back of my mind all year, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it, and I got it done.
Does it have to do with books?
Yes.
Does it have to do with reading 52 books?
Yes. So
That's impressive.
in 2023, I set a goal to read 50 books for 2023. And that came from in 2022, I set a goal to read 40 books. And I achieved that goal. And I read exactly 40 books in 2022. As far as I know, I think I tracked them all. So when I was setting my goals for 2023, I thought, well, I read 40 books last year. I'm probably be okay reading 50 books in 2023. And then as I was going through the year, I wasn't counting something or something. Like I was going through the year and I was like, oh, I have to finish this one book to get to 50. But I kind of forgot that I had also been listening to books. And there were a few that I finished in addition to the other ones I read. So I ended up with 52 books, which is a book a week.
So what's the goal for 2024?
I haven't set a goal for 2024 just yet. I've already read one book, though. I will say that as much as I enjoyed that goal, there were times where I felt like I was speed reading just to get through something to keep up with it. And I don't really want that to be the outcome. I still want it to be like pleasurable.
Yeah, you want to enjoy it.
Yeah. I think it's cool that I read 52 books in one
that's
year.
Very cool. I don't know.
My brother apparently reads like 5 books a day on 3.5 speed.
Imagine if we all talked to each other on 3.5 too. What that would sound like.
Maybe that's
We
how
could
we
have so
should do the
many
podcast.
conversations.
We could have so many conversations. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, what if we put 3.5 speed into 3.5 speed?
What about you, baby? Any goals?
It was sort of a loose goal, but I wanted to be more active with my YouTube channel that focuses on guitar. And I wanted
Rather Be Riffin'.
Rather Be Riffing. I wanted to post at least one video per month. I believe I achieved that on average. It wasn't always every 4 weeks on the dot. Regardless of if I did put out more videos last year than I had the previous year. And I feel like the videos fell into their own in terms of being matured and representing my music and ideas in the way that I had envisioned. So that felt really good. And it paid off as well because I had a lot of growth in my channel. So I feel really proud about that.
That's awesome. I didn't even think, how many subs did you start the year with? And then how many did you end with?
I want to say I went into the year with approaching 1,000 going into the year. And then
That's amazing.
Yeah, I came out of the year with over 5,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. I had one video that went sort of viral in the context of like guitar videos, which is not a lot compared to some of the other more popular genres, but that brought in over 1,000 subscribers.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it was really exciting.
It is so cool. And something that I think our viewers probably notice about this podcast and our listeners is the high quality that you put into this. So Jonathan produces this, and his YouTube channel for guitar, Rather Be Riffin', is outstanding, extraordinary.
Thank you.
Excellent. Those are the words that come to mind. Many of your subscribers and people that comment on your videos describe them as calming, relaxing. And I think part of it is you're producing beautiful music as well to put into the videos to review the guitars. But also there's a lot of thought put into the lighting and the vibe that is very relaxing in the sense that it doesn't challenge in a bad way. It's sort of like an interesting sit back and listen for what you hear and your interpretation, and you leave it to your audience to be able to decipher for themselves what they hear. So I think it's pretty wonderful, and I can't wait to see more growth in 2024.
Yeah, thank you. I think it's interesting because I didn't go into it consciously trying to make folks feel relaxed, but in hindsight, I make music because it relaxes me. So I think that just is embedded in what I'm doing. And so that's really cool that other folks are experiencing that as well. But I think trying to do it at the highest standard I'm capable of and always learning and trying to master my craft, I'm glad that that's resonated with folks. And I feel like there's more I can do to get even better and learn more and see what happens in 2024.
I also think it's awesome because you don't lower your standard just to produce more. And I think there are people, especially those that maybe have the results that you have from each of your videos. We were commenting and reflecting the other day about Jonathan's sub count versus video ratio versus your view ratio even. It's something that you don't typically see, meaning Jonathan's channel gets more views and more subs per video than what most people are having. I have over 200 videos and you have like 30 videos.
Something like that, yeah.
So all that to say, it's amazing that you're not lowering your standard to produce more just to get the views and the subs. You're keeping a standard and improving that standard, I would say, on each video, which makes it more time consuming and it's more intricate, really.
Yeah.
Just the way that you put it all together. So that's amazing. And I think at the end of the day, you can feel so much better about what you're doing.
Yeah, I appreciate that because I made a promise to myself that I'd only make videos that I am interested in and enjoy making and are true to who I am. So those are sort of my principles going into it. And that if I had to compromise on any of those, it wasn't going to be worth my time or energy. I feel like I've been able to honor that and live up to that. And that's what I'll continue to do going forward.
Did you set a new goal for 2024?
I did. We'll talk about that at the end of 2024.
Fantastic. I get that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, any other thoughts? Christmas gifts, 2024, 2023?
I gotta be honest here. I have no idea what Rose has planned for this video yet again. And I'm dying.